Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Ainana Jamili Muhammad Sofian. My metric number is 1231452. And today, I would like to start our presentation with an introduction about Sapura Research Sendirian Berhad. Sapura Research Sendirian Berhad is a wholly owned subsidiary of the group Sapura. Sapura Holding is jointly owned by two brothers, which is the first one is Tan Sri Datuk Seri Syahrul Samsudin as a President and Group Chief Executive Officer of Sapura, and the second one is Datuk Seri Syahriman Syamsuddin as a Group Executive Director of Sapura. The two each of them hold a 40.5% direct stake in Sapura Holdings, while the remainder are owned by Datuk Ramli Musa, which is hold 4%, and the brothers Capital Sendirian Berhad, which is hold 15%. This company, leading Malaysia multinational company, involved in various sectors including oil and gas, defences, telecommunication, automotive, aviation, and education. The establishment of Sapura Research is part of the group long-term strategy to develop technological capabilities, reduce dependence on foreign technology, and promote local innovation in the high-tech sector, particularly in engineering and defense solutions. The establishment of Sapura Research reflects the Sapura Group's commitment to investing in research and development as a key pillar for national development and economic growth. The company focuses specifically on advanced research, design, and development of innovative technologies, with a primary focus on defense electronic, radar system, tactical communication, surveillance system, command and control system, electronic warfare, and integrated simulation environment. These technologies are crucial not only for Malaysia's defense capabilities, but also to achieve technological sovereignty, which is the ability to design, build, and maintain critical systems and infrastructure locally without relying entirely on foreign suppliers. Sapura Research serves as an innovation hub in the Sapura Group. It brings together engineers, scientists, software developers, and system integration experts to develop very sophisticated technology solutions. Many of its projects are being implemented in collaboration with the Ministry of Defence, Malaysia MINDEF, the Malaysia Armed Force, local institutions of higher learning, and international technology partners. Sapura Research are not only to be used in operation, but are strategically important and specially designed according to local needs and circumstances. Some of the main achievements of Sapura Research include its involvement in development and implementation tactical radio system and instruction and control platform used by the Malaysian military. The platform enables safe communication and real-time for field operation, thus enhancing the effectiveness and safety of defense missions. The company is also active in exploring two-use technology and innovation that can be used for public and military purpose, such as smart transport, system secure wireless network, and advanced simulation training system. More broadly, Sapura Research play a key role in building the national defense industry and support government initiatives such as National Science, Technology and Innovation Policy and Malaysia White Paper. These policies also emphasize the importance of local innovation, self-defense defense, and private sector involvement in strengthening national security capabilities. With continuous investment in R&D as well as commitment to quality and sophistication of technology, Sapura Research also enhance the country defense preparedness, but also create high-value employment opportunities and strengthen the local ecosystem in high-technology manufacturing and engineering.
The principle of transparency is an important foundation in Islamic work ethics that demands that all business and employment transactions be carried out fairly, trustfully, and responsibly. According to the article "Islamic Work Ethic: A Critical Study", transparency is a basic requirement in dissemination and realizing the principles of Islamic work ethics in work. Transparency means that all information, actions, and decisions of the organization are carried out clearly without hiding important facts that can affect other parties. In the business context, as stated in the article Conceptual Framework of Islamic Work Ethics, traders need to state in detail the goods sold to avoid disputes. Transparency can prevent fraud, misunderstandings, and increase the trust of customers and employees in the integrity of the organization. In fact, it also needs to be implemented in the employee reward system so that they feel valued fairly, whether in terms of internal rewards such as recognition and promotions, or external rewards such as bonuses and a safe working environment. The quality of trustworthiness is an important value in Islam work ethics that requires individuals to take care of the responsibilities given with full integrity and honesty. Based on the article Conceptual Framework of Islamic Work Ethics, a trustworthy person will not neglect their duties even without supervision because they realize that trust is a responsibility that must be carried out honestly and sincerely. This attitude reflects a person's ability to be trusted in carrying out tasks without deviating or taking advantage. In Islam, the value of trust is strongly emphasized in all aspects of life, including the workplace, where every employee must carry out their duties with commitment, responsibility, and efficiency. Efforts to produce high-quality work and be on time without violating ethics demonstrate integrity and contribute to the good name and success of the organization as a whole.
Alright, so we're going to the next point, which is I want talking about effort. And I have 3 points to mention this. The first point is Islamic work ethic emphasizes effort, focuses on a form of worship and moral responsibility. The second point is effort not just requiring the right intention, but also emphasizing strive for excellence. And the third is the principle of ihsan encourage individuals beyond minimum standard. Alright, so we're going to the last point, which is teamwork. And I have 3 things to share with you. Firstly, teamwork often applied by collective responsibility. Secondly, honesty strongly build trust and avoid conflict, while at the same time develop promoting mutual respect and fairness. Lastly, this concept not just resolve conflict wisdom and constructiveness, also developing principles such as justice and trust.
I will explain the part of based on interview session. Okay, I will continue explain about the element of transparency. How Sapura Research and PhD apply transparency in their company. So, in ensuring that employees act honestly and trustworthy in their work they do, whether the result good or bad, it is by setting standard operating procedure, which is Sapura Research and PhD has SOP in every single thing in their company. Jadi maksudnya dekat sini, setiap pekerja telah diberitahu akan adanya SOP untuk satu tugasan itu diselesaikan. Jadi daripada awal tugasan itu dibuat sampailah tugasan itu selesai, ada prosedur yang perlu dipatuhi. Jadi sekiranya ada kecuaian ataupun kesalahan yang berlaku dalam proses satu tugasan itu disiapkan, maka akan dapat dikenal pasti, dapat detect kesalahan tu. Jadi tidak ada peluang untuk pekerja berlaku curang ataupun tidak jujur. Second, Sapura Research also had advanced systems such as log file, network background that will record every detail that occurs. So, daripada sini, akan ada log file untuk setiap tugasan dan setiap orang yang akan merekodkan every minute what happened. So, even the workers or employees try to tak jujur dalam pekerjaan tu ataupun satu tugasan itu sekiranya berlaku kecuaian ataupun kesalahan, akan dapat detect lah, maksudnya pengurusan akan dapat detect kerana data telah disimpan. Jadi mereka dapat kenal pasti segala yang berlaku untuk satu-satu tugasan ataupun satu-satu pembuatan. And the third, Sapura Research SDM PhD also attach importance to matter involving the ethics, attitude and integrity of each employee. Sapura Research company not tolerate with bad attitude or ethic and integrity seperti rasuah dan salah laku yang berlaku di tempat kerja lah, contohnya penindasan ataupun berlaku kecurangan dalam membuat pekerjaan, salah laku tugas, mengarahkan orang lain menyiapkan tugasan atau apa-apa, mereka akan kenal pasti dan tidak bertolak ansur lah dengan tindakan-tindakan yang bertentangan dengan etika yang betul. Jadi dari sini, elemen transparansi ni dapat dibentuk oleh Sapura Research kerana daripada segi pekerjaan atau tugasan, mereka ada sistem yang sistematik, sistem yang sangat menjaga, yang dapat menentukan satu kerja tu dilaksanakan dengan betul, dengan tepat, dengan jujur. Dan dari segi etika, mereka sangat mementingkan etika yang baik, etika yang seiring dengan Islamic work ethic lah, kerana 90% daripada pekerja Sapura Research beragam Islam juga. Jadi di situ sebagai seorang Muslim dan juga pekerja, mereka sangat mementingkan elemen etika yang baik. Next, element effort. Sapura Research SDM PhD has a set of standard of key performance indicator (KPI) and each employee must achieve the given target. Seperti yang kita tahu, setiap company perlu ada target dan mission untuk dicapai. Dari situlah satu company itu boleh bergerak lebih jauh dan berjaya kerana mereka telah ada target yang ditetapkan. Jadi melalui sesi interview, kami dapat tahu yang setiap pekerja daripada Sapura Research ni, mereka akan ditetapkan satu target. Sebagai contoh, satu pekerja perlu menyiapkan 10 task dalam masa satu hari. Jadi dari situ mereka perlu siapkan 10 task dalam satu hari. Di situ ada elemen effort, which is macam mana mereka perlu menyiapkan tugasan itu dengan sempurna dan memastikan pekerjaan itu disiapkan dengan baik. Namun apabila satu target itu tidak mampu dicapai, maka akan ada postmortem and company will ask lah kenapa tak boleh capai. Dan dari situ setiap company tu, setiap pekerja akan ada rasa tanggungjawab, akan ada rasa perlu untuk disiapkan satu tugasan itu. Di sini kita dapat lihat yang company Sapura Research akan memastikan pekerja mereka melakukan tugasan itu dengan baiknya, dengan jayanya, dan pastikan tugasan itu bukan sekadar disiapkan tetapi disiapkan dengan baiklah. And lastly, Sapura Research SDM PhD also provide award such as bonus to employees who have a good performance. You do better, you will get the better thing. So dari sini kita dapat lihat Sapura Research Sapura Research SDM PhD punya pekerja sangat mementingkan elemen effort kerana ada target yang perlu dicapai. Jadi mereka tidak bolehlah untuk membuat satu pekerjaan itu dengan sambil lewa kerana target telah diberi, jadi perlulah untuk dicapai.
My name is Nur Akila Munirah binti Rizalman. My number matric 1231451. Okay, next part, I will share how the value of trust and teamwork is built in the Sapura Research organization by our interview session. Okay, let's go to the part value of trust first. Sapura has used modern technology to ensure trustworthy inroads. They use systems such as the Network Operating Center and log files, where all works activity are recorded automatically. For example, this system is like the electronic control unit in a car. any error will be recorded without be delayed. So, this helps reduce the risk of data manipulation by employees. Second, trust is also established through 3 layers of inspection before the project is sent to the customer. The process involved the engineer will conduct screening tests, and then the supervisor has to review. And finally, the manager will confirm the report. In addition, the quality control team and special audits are also involved, especially for strategic projects. Third, Sapura is very strict about integrity violation. If fraud or information leak occur, internal discipline action and report to the authorities will be taken, especially if it involves national security. Finally, for major decisions such as project tender, the practice collective decision. All departments, including technical, financial, and legal, will be involved in a special committee to ensure the decisions are made fair and equally. Okay, next, I will explain how teamwork is effectively practiced at a Sapura research. First, Sapura divide project into teams according to area of expertise such as civil mechanical electric, transmission, and radio frequency teams. This allowed them to adopt a divide and conquer strategy, where each team focus on their own tasks but still collab on the overall project. Second, in deal with conflict and unbalanced workload, Sapura use a KPI system and discipline evolution. If there is an imbalance, management will rearrange tasks to make work more fair and efficient. Third, the practice of knowledge transfer has also become important culture. A mentor-mentee system has been introduced where senior staff guide junior staff, and then continued training and technical examination are also conducted for career development. Fourth, the company will be rewarded based on their performance. Outstanding employees will receive special bonus, including promotion. This is not only individual motivation, but also encourage collective cooperation to achieve common goals. Finally, although Sapura is a corporate organization, Islamic values remain at the core of the work culture. Activities such as gathering prayer, breaking the fast together, and the emphasis on trust clearly show that trust and cooperation are not only on professional grounds, but also spiritual and ethical. In short, the combination of trust and teamwork at Sapura Research not only increases productivity, but also creates honest, fair, harmony work environment.
Next, I will present a comparative analysis of two core values in Islamic work ethic, namely effort and teamwork. This presentation highlights not only professional aspects but also the spiritual dimension of work in Islam. In Islamic work ethics, effort is not merely about working hard. It is rooted in the concept of itqan, istiqamah, and tawakal. According to the article by Nornila Kamaluddin and Siti Harijah Abdul Manan, effort is considered an act of worship when it is done sincerely to gain the pleasure of Allah. Islam encourages its followers to seek knowledge, be diligent and continuously perform muhasabah or self-reflection to improve their performance. Thus, effort is not measured only by outward achievement but also by internal sincerity and spiritual commitment. At Sapura Research Sdn Bhd, this value is seen in the dedication of engineers and researchers who strive to develop advanced defense technologies despite facing major challenges. Their perseverance reflects discipline and technical excellence, which are central to the organization's success. The similarity between the Islamic work ethic framework and Sapura Research is the emphasis on effort as a foundation for personal and professional success. Both stress discipline, continuous improvement, and responsibility in completing tasks. However, the difference lies in the focus. The article views effort from a spiritual and human development perspective, associating it with worship and values. Meanwhile, Sapura emphasized technical performance, mental endurance, and measurable productivity in its approach. As a student evaluating this, I observed that while effort is highly valued in terms of work output at Sapura, there is relatively less emphasis on the spiritual and internal dimension. Therefore, I suggest that the organization adopt a more balanced approach, integrating spiritual support and character building programs and regular reflection sessions to strengthen the deeper meaning of effort in line with Islamic principles. Next, we move to the value of teamwork. In Islam, teamwork is based on mutual assistance, that is mu'awanah, justice, and consultation. It is encouraged because human beings are created with different strengths and are meant to complement one another. The article Conceptual Framework of Islamic Work Ethic states that teamwork is a way to unify the diversity and achieve common goals. It also helps prevent internal conflict, increase productivity, and promotes a harmonious work environment. At Sapura Research Sdn Bhd, teamwork is crucial for the success of multidisciplinary projects. Collaboration across departments and integration of expertise are essential to fulfill the technical and strategic goals of the organization. The similarity between the Islamic perspective and Sapura Research Sdn Bhd is their shared emphasis on cooperation to achieve organizational goals, further mutual trust, and promote open communication. Difference lies in the orientation. The article emphasizes moral and ethical aspects such as social justice and interpersonal responsibility through shura. Sapura, on the other hand, practices teamwork through its organizational structure, focusing more on strategic execution and operational outcomes. In practice, there are still challenges in cultivating a truly cooperative work culture. Often, individual achievements are more recognized than group efforts, which witness team spirit and encourage unhealthy competition. Therefore, I recommend the organization like Sapura strengthen team building program rooted in Islamic values such as shura and mu'awanah, and develop reward system that recognize collective achievement. This will foster a more inclusive, balanced, and productive work culture. In conclusion, the values of effort and teamwork in Islam are not just workplace concepts, they reflect faith, trust, and our responsibility to Allah and to each other. Organizations like Sapura Research Sdn Bhd can take inspiration from the Islamic work ethic to create a work culture that excels not only in professional performance but also in spiritual and human development.
Next, I would like to present two important values in Islamic work ethic, namely transparency and trustworthy. I will also compare how these values are explained in article and also Sapura Research Sdn Bhd. As we know, transparency in work ethic means that we are open and honest in all matters, from financial report, internal communication, to customer affairs. This openness can prevent fraud, strengthen trust, and reflect the integrity of an organization. For a comparison of transparency between article and Sapura Research Sdn Bhd, in the article, it states that transparency is emphasized, the spiritual value, where we need to be honest because the trust comes from to Allah. On the other hand, at Sapura Research Sdn Bhd, their approach is more about the monitoring and this use of technology. So it's clear what can be concluded here, that there is a difference between on two, namely the emphasis on the employee reward system itself. However, there are also similarities between them, namely both source that transparency is important element in creating an ethical and trustworthy work culture through an emphasis on honesty that is applied. Finally, for the sake of transparency in the organization, in my opinion, transparency is the foundation of trust in an organization. However, it must be followed by reaction. If it's just a slogan without implementation, it can damage employee morals and trust. Next, the value of trustworthy or trustworthiness means someone who takes on a task with full responsibility and honesty, even without supervision. So, Islam strongly emphasizes this value as mentioned in Surah Al-Anfal, verse 27. For the comparison of trustworthy between the article and Sapura Research Sendian Berhad, in terms of approach, the article emphasizes spiritual and moral aspect, while Sapura Research sees trust as the key to project success. Although the approach are different, both recognize the importance of trustworthiness in work success. Finally, what I can conclude for this part, for me personally, the principle of transparency and trust are important foundation in forming an ethical work culture. This value needs to be implemented, not just theoretical or recreation in organizations' policy. In addition, the concept of trust encompasses all aspects of life, not only in work matters, but also in social responsibility and human relationship, in line with the demands of Islamic spiritual and ethical values.
Now we go to conclusion. In conclusion, this study shows how the Islamic work ethic framework include core values such as effort, teamwork, transparency, and belief. It can be used effectively in high technology organizations such as Sapura Research Sendian Berhad through literally studies and practical real-world examples. These principles of Islamic ethics not only encourage morals and spiritual growth among workers but also improve an organizational performance, integrity, and sustainability. Sapura research highlight how companies can achieve technically excellence while upholding ethical and spiritual values. By combining structured monitoring system standard operating procedures and reward system that reflect effort and integrity, organization can maintain transparency and trust at all levels. Teamwork is a key part of their operation model, encouraging cooperation in various areas of expertise and ensuring the success of the project through mutual responsibility. In addition, workers believe are strengthened through the culture of accountability, continuous learning, and shared ethical standard. From a broader perspective, this task emphasizes that integrating Islamic values in the workplace meets with the industry demands while fostering a resilient, ethical, and harmonious work environment. Therefore, organizations aimed at a long-term success and ethical excellence should consider adopting an Islamic work ethical framework as a guide for both policies and practices.